Alright, people, today I will be breaking down exactly how we send over 750 DMs per day with our business. This can be replicated for essentially any type of online business, whether it be agency, consulting, whatever you guys are doing, coaching. The exact methods are exactly what we teach our students to do and what we do internally at our company. Okay. So first off, we're going to go over how to optimize the accounts because this is a big mistake. Everyone's focused on the script. The script is completely useless if your accounts are not optimized. What's the first thing you do when someone sends you a random DM? You don't answer the DM, you go on their account to see who the hell is this person. So it's very important that the accounts are optimized. And I'm going to show you how we do it for us. Then afterwards, I'm going to go over the cold DM script we've been using lately. This is specifically for like local lead gen. All right, so if you run an agency that does local lead gen, this will be perfect for you, as well as the actual game plan of how to send 750 DMs per day. Okay. So first off, how to optimize the accounts. Before even you start outreaching, this is the first thing you have to do. You guys will either do Instagram or Facebook, one or the other, ideally both. Ideally, you would alternate between both. So I'm going to show you guys how we do it internally. This is my account. Okay. If you're watching this video, most likely you're just starting out and you don't have 20 setters who are working for you, which is okay. So first off, I would start with your own account, and then any future accounts, I would replicate this sort of style, of content. So as you can see, my account is not super optimized. I don't have crazy followers. I have a generic sort of bio, and the pictures too are not crazy, but this works extremely well. Okay, and this is what you need. First off, verification is important. When you get a DM from someone who's verified, it adds like social proof credibility to who you are. So it's something I recommend you guys to do. Bio, copy something like this. Okay. One question that I often get asked is, Oliver, should I make business accounts to outreach? My thought process behind it is that people buy from people. All right, people don't buy from businesses; they buy because they like you as a person. And I do think it's better to just utilize sort of you as a person, mix it between business, lifestyle, have a couple of value posts. As you can see, like I have lots of shorts, like going over random concepts. I don't have that many pictures too, you see. I have a couple of shorts going over a couple of things, some personal pictures that should show that I'm an actual person, I have a life, as well as some stories highlights. Okay, so as you can see, this is more than enough in terms of outreach. So if you have a business account and you're going after local businesses, do the same thing. Put a nice picture of yourself, nice little bio, some value post. Doesn't have to be shorts, it can be picture, like those picture text based. Mix it up with some of your personal pictures because people like to sort of see who's behind the scenes. And then from there, this is going to be good to go. When it comes to Facebook, same thing. Have a nice banner with your offer, something that shows that you're a business. Personal account, once again, so just a nice picture of yourself, your full name, verification, very important. Here you can copy my bio, so I use this basically bio, and then from here include any relevant links to what you already have. If your website is bad, don't put your website. Okay, you should probably fix the website. If you have a community, 100% include it. If the community is dead and there's 4 people in it and no one's active, do not include it. There's no point. Only include things that are relevant. For me, I have a YouTube and an Instagram as well. Okay, so when people do receive a DM from this account, what's the first thing they do? They go on my account and then they can see all of the socials, more social proofs that they can click on each of these and see, okay, he has a skull group. Let me click what it looks like. And then you can say, oh my God, there's 200 members. Okay, he's, Mr. Big Shot, whatever. And then from there, the website and everything, of course. When it comes to the actual posts, same thing as Instagram. Just a couple of value posts, something that shows that you're legit. For me, I don't even think I have a couple of YouTube videos, and that's pretty much it. All right, so as you can see, it's nothing too crazy. Now that we've optimized the accounts, and essentially as you grow, you're going to ask your setters to do something similar. All right, obviously they're going to use their own accounts, nice picture of themselves, value post, they can share some of your post on it, and then from there that should be good to go. Now when it comes to the actual cold DM script, I have it right here. I'm going to show you guys what we do. Okay, very important that you follow the entire thing. What the script basically takes into account is the sales process in terms of how you will close the deals. All right, you probably watched a bunch of videos from people on Zoom calls saying like, watch me close this deal for $1 million per month. I did it in 5 minutes, live recording, crazy things like that. And I'm going to teach you from experience, from coaching, about 200 people now, and most of them local lead gen, what I'm seeing in terms of the trends and what I believe to be a better, more effective way of closing versus, the traditional Zoom calls. So what is this new outreach flow? Okay, the Instagram, Facebook outreach. Again, accounts needs to be optimized. If they're not optimized, it's not worth even doing this. So you start off IG, Facebook message. The way I like to source them is I go on Facebook groups. I'll send them a DM on Facebook, and then afterwards you can find their account on Instagram as well and send it on Instagram. So you can kind of do both from there. Otherwise, there's a bunch of like websites and stuff like that to source leads. You guys know this already. From there, depending on your niche and your offer, most of you guys are doing like appointment setting, lead gen, and stuff like that. So you offer your clients, you offer them clients or appointments. Okay, pretty straightforward. Now I'm not gonna go step by step, but as you can see, hey, first name. I was looking for your niche in a local city, and I stumbled upon your profile. We've got lots of folks asking for recommendations for the niche in the local area. Would you be able to handle more appointments this month if I send them your way? Okay, direct pitch, straight to the point, no waste time, just send this message. I would switch up the variations from here and there, but you understand sort of the approach that we're taking. Okay, we have appointments, do you want them, yes or no? That's basically what we're doing. From there, if they don't respond, of course you follow up. If the prospect says yes, which is great, this is where my sort of method or strategy comes into play. Okay, I know a couple of people are doing this. I'm not going to claim that as my special way, but what I've sort of been pushing on my students or the people I mentor is to call the leads instead of continuing the conversation by DM. What I notice with these local businesses is that it's not like when you work with other agency owners or other people in this space. Us online business owners, we're very accustomed to just texting, Zoom calls, and stuff like that. But these local businesses are not, it's not their natural place. They're not always on there. Yes, they're on Facebook and these platforms, but for them to have like a business conversation, it typically doesn't happen over Instagram. Yeah. So what I have basically been telling my people to do is to call the leads. So let's say you DM a local business, they respond with like yeah, that'd be interesting. You can either text them and say you can test it out for yourself and see for your niche what works best, but you can text them like, great, could I have your best number so I can give you a quick ring and explain to you how I can send you these appointments? They'll give you a number, you get a micro commitment on their end, and also you get sort of permission to call them, okay, which is a bit less intrusive, but of course it adds a bit more friction. Or you can just straight up find the number and call them and say like, hey, my name is Oliver, we were having a conversation on Instagram, you mentioned that you were open to getting those appointments. They're like, yeah, how does it work? And then that's when you go for the pitch. So it's like a cold call, but a warm call. And of course, if they don't answer, you follow up, okay? Keep calling them, keep calling, just keep them in the pipeline. And then from there, you pitch them the service, and then you gather information on their business. How long have you been active for? How many jobs do you typically take per month? Do you work during the winter? What is the next goal for you? How many more appointments could you handle? Just the generic sort of questioning to get them to be interested in working with you. From there, this is where like I feel like it really depends on the niche. Like it really depends on who you work with. Either you go to schedule a Zoom call. All right, this is a traditional like, hey, do you have 15 minutes available this week? We can sit down. I can show you exactly the process, how it works, break down the pricing specifically to what you need, and then from there, you go for the close, or you can just close over the phone. Okay, I found that like for local businesses, let's say like your local plumber, your plumber is not on Zoom calls all day. Like Zoom for a plumber, it's like a new territory. Like they're not used to being in that place. And if you start, there's already like lots of friction and like you're trying to close someone, you're trying to get someone to pay you, and you want to make the experience as smooth as possible. And if you start adding like stuff like, hey, let's hop on a Zoom call, let's do this, let's do that, it's like, yeah, I was like, I didn't really want to talk to you. I was open to listening to what you had to say, and now you're making me hop on a Zoom call. It's like, forget about it. I'm not going to do it. Okay. Whereas if you just call them a second time, it's a lot easier to continue the conversation that way. You do have to be good at like selling with your voice. Selling over the phone, meaning. But if you can make it happen for certain local niches, I think it can be very beneficial. Another thing, in the meantime, I probably should have formatted this differently, but in between the second call and the phone call, you can also send a VSL, okay, video sales letter that kind of breaks down what the service is, some of your case studies, your testimonials, and stuff like that, and then from there you close the deal. Okay, so I don't want to focus too much on this because this is like sales, but this is like the main difference point: calling the lead versus continuing the conversation over text. They're local businesses. They're used to receiving a bunch of calls, and they always operate on the phone. Okay, that's how their business, their day-to-day works. So you want to adapt to their sort of routine, and follow their practices. Okay, so that's the script. All right, it's slightly different. It's pretty much the same thing. It's all about volume, guys. Okay, it's not the magical script that's gonna save you and like you'll suddenly become a millionaire overnight. All right, it's just putting in the volume. You see, volume times skill equals result. At the beginning, you probably don't have that much skill, which is normal. You're starting out. You're new to this. So what do you need? You need volume. Okay, do you honestly believe if you speak to like 100 people per day, there's not one that's gonna eventually say yes to you? It's just volume. That's the name of the game, right? Having a good script will help, but at the end of the day, if you only send 2 DMs per day, then there's no point of doing this. Now we move on to the third part, okay, which is the game plan. I put 750. This can be 1 million. This can be 5 DMs per day. Depends on how many staff, how many people you have on a team, because obviously it's not possible to do it on your own. You need help. So you start off by yourself, and then over time you can build up the game plan. Now I'm going to break down my numbers on how we do it. So as you can see, traditional stuff, you pick a niche, you sell a high ticket service, so like appointment setting, 2K, 3K per month. Ideally you get them a really nice ROI, and volume, as mentioned, is the most important thing. From there, you want to have a leveraged prospecting campaign. Okay, what does leverage mean? Leverage means you can basically remove yourself from the process, get sort of a system in place where it runs on its own, and you have people managing it, hiring people and training them, and it basically just grows on its own. Now, there are 3 main ways, or 3 main things that need to be taken into account, which we kind of went over today. So how to source the leads. I mentioned Facebook groups. I think I even have a video on my channel going over how to do it exactly. So Facebook group, Instagram, you use a script, which is what I shared with you guys today, as well as the accounts. From there, if you want to get to 750, which is the game plan, you want to hire anywhere from 5 to 10 appointment setters. All right, now how many appointment setters, like how many DMs can one appointment setter send, and how many meetings can they set? Those are important numbers to know. Obviously, it depends of their skill, how hard they work, how many hours, the niche you're going after, all of those things, like what is deemed as like a qualified appointment as well. There's lots of factors to put into play. So I'm just going to show you my numbers. Okay. So as you can see here, you have all of my setters. Okay, I might have to blur this out. I don't want to show them their names. But this is like a new software I was using recently, which is pretty cool. But essentially, we've been tracking all of like the volume that our appointment setters are doing. So as you can see here in DMs, it shows how many DMs they sent in total. And again, we just started using this, so these are pretty low numbers. But this is like their total. Okay, so if you look at all of my setters, they've sent a total so far of 4,400 DMs, messages. Okay, and this is cold DMs. This is not to like my Facebook group or something like that. This is cold people. There's a 10% conversion rate or conversation rate. Okay, so 10% of the DMs that are being sent, people are actually engaging with my setters and are having that conversation. Okay, so 10% would say, yes, you can call me. Now, the booking rate from those 10% is 18%, meaning out of those 10% people that responded, so in this case, it would be 440, 18% are going to agree to to actually hop on a call and everything and schedule that second call. The important metric to keep in mind here is right here. So sales calls booked. So in my case, I have 74. So out of 4,400 DMs sent, they were able to book 74 appointments. All right, that's about like 1.5%, 2% of conversion rate. So you can use those numbers. I would use 1% because I know for local it's a bit harder. All right, so just know that every 100 DMs, you should be getting about one appointment. All right, it's not going to be on the dot. You know, sometimes you might have to send 200 and then you'll get 2 back to back that book a call with you. But it's about 1% of booking rate. All right, so those are the numbers we're going to use. And this is what I have internally for my company. And as you can see, it's a bit higher. And yeah, from here you can basically break down the numbers. And if I look at like my setters, how many they send, it's anywhere from like 50, 100, like let's say 75 DMs per day are being sent. Okay, ideally about 100, that's like the goal, so they can book at least one meeting per day. All right, and if you're just starting out and you don't have the funds to hire these appointment setters, which is okay, you gotta do it yourself. Okay. If anything, it's a good thing because you'll learn how to do it, and then when you bring on team members, you can train them and you can see if they're being effective or not. All right, and the way you pay them, there's a bunch of like ways to do it. You can pay them per appointment, per closed deal, base salary. I would recommend the base salary. Many people come to me and they say, "Oh, can I just hire purely commission based on closed deals?" You have to think to yourself that sort of like way of getting paid is the riskiest way for them. Okay, there's lots of uncertainty because first of all, you're a brand new company who has no case studies, no experience, no track record. So why would they trust you on a fully commission based, trusting that, oh, okay, yeah, this person at least they can close deals. So I'm willing to take fully commission based because they, you know, they can make at least 100,000 per month. So I'm not worried about not getting paid. But if you're brand new, then they're going to be like, well, this guy has no idea what he's doing. Like, why am I going to work for him commission based? Okay, so that's why at the beginning it's a bit harder. As you get more results and you understand how it works, I would suggest giving them like a 2-week trial. So the first 2 weeks, you tell them, look, it's commission based. Okay, about $50 per meeting. Commission based, you only get paid for qualified show up. And if you do a good job during those first 2 weeks, I will put you on the base salary. And for like a setter position, someone who hits like good metrics, I would say it's like they should get paid everything included with bonuses, base salary, and everything, like about 1,000, like 750 to 1,000 per month. All right, that's sort of what we're aiming for. And yeah, here's the outreach. You basically do the math. So if one appointment setter can get me 1 appointment per day, and I want 8 appointments, and I need 8 setters. Now, how much is 8 setters? Then you 8K per month. Okay, you know, you kind of break down the numbers that way. So you start slowly, then over time you add those numbers. And obviously the goal is to get about 5, 6, 7, 8 calls per day. And as you can see here, I used a 1% conversion rate metric, and we saw in reality it's a bit higher, well, at least for me. All right, and of course, as you become better, as you get more case studies, more social proof, that rate will go up. All right, so right now what you guys are doing is probably like the worst, like the worst phase of where your business is going to be. It's only going to go up from here, right? You're only going to get more results. You're going to get more money, more social proof. Hopefully you're making content, so more followers, subscribers, and stuff like that. So if you're able to make it at this level, then you can say to yourself that once I pop off, once I become the top G, it's going to be a lot easier for me to convert and find people, find better people, and all of those things. Okay, so I hope this was useful. This is sort of the framework we've been using. I think this, number one, is probably the most important thing. Right? Many people overlook the account. They focus on the script like crazy, as if that's like the magic formula, and all these YouTubers as well are doing that. Use this magical script that I created that allowed me to book, $5 million of revenue in 2 days. Don't be too fixated on the script and the process. Learn to be adaptable. That's probably the most important skill to have. Okay, learn to be adaptable. One person might respond to one tactic to get booked, and then maybe you see like this person doesn't want to pick up the phone, but he keeps texting you. Then obviously continue the conversation by text. Okay, so learn to be adaptable and see sort of like what's happening in your niche. But from experience, people are doing local lead gen. That's like the script that I gave you. That's sort of like a good first step to start with, and then over time you'll refine it. You'll make it a bit better depending on what you're doing. Okay, so I hope this was useful. As usual, guys, if ever you have any questions, just follow me on Instagram. Send me a message. I try to respond to everyone as soon as I can. And yeah, best of luck with everything.